we'll All right, so guys, we're going to go pretty quickly through a mock kitchen table appointment. What I want you guys to start thinking about, I'm gonna start with some pretty boring, like administrative type how-to stuff, and then transition. So one, you can't run a kitchen table appointment from your phone. Now, if you're with somebody and you're having a conversation, you can absolutely take an app from your phone, right? You can do almost everything that could be considered client production, you can do from your phone, but that's not generally the way that you're going to run an appointment. Okay, so you want to have your own Zoom setup once you're licensed. You want to have your own calendar set up once you're licensed, because otherwise, how can anybody set an appointment with you, right? So those are critical. With Zoom, you have to get comfortable like creating a Zoom, sharing your screen, and then being able to transition in between some form of presentation into a web browser that will take you into Primerica Online, and then actually be able to work through an app. One other thing to get comfortable doing is using the whiteboard function inside of Zoom, because that's how we draw the A diagram. That's how we explain the application process. The majority of the actual, I would say, like stacking of value and like transition into the close happens with that A diagram, because that's how you explain the application process. And think about it. If you were applying for something, but you really didn't know how it was going to go, right? And you didn't really understand how it was going to work, are you really that comfortable moving forward? In most cases, probably not. And so that's why we use the A diagram. I'm working on a couple of different things to try to streamline and kind of make some of this easier for us. Um, so we'll talk about some of that today. Another thing I want you to think about is like from a movie production standpoint, right? We call it set and setting. And so real simple, like watch what happens like right now when I turn off my ring light, right? Now look, I know I still look good, but I look better with the light, right? Like come on. Like let's be real. So like that little bit of light, it changes everything. And I mean, this is not, well, I can't, it's like fixed to my other monitor over here, but it's like this big and it's a $6 Amazon ring light, but it changes everything, right? And depending on what kind of light that you like, it's got different settings. I mean, this one I like is because it's a little warmer, right? But it's a $6 light. And when you think about like your background, right? Like this is, I mean, this is real. This is my wall, right? Like that's a wall. That's not like a green screen. But if your area that you're working in behind you doesn't look professional, use a green screen, right? But you don't want it to look fake or hokey or cheesy. You want it to look like it's real, it's you, it's something, right? So think about that, and maybe it's just a different space in your office or in your house. Let me let my dog out. I said they've never knocked on the wall. They think somebody's here. Okay. But just some of that like basic administrative type stuff, right? Like I have a window over there that's got natural light. I mean, there's some trees, so not a lot comes in, but just thinking about what is going to um, what is going to like present you in the best possible light. Because think about it, when that Zoom camera pops on, you kind of get one first impression, and after that, it's okay. Well, here we go, right? So just start to think about those things. So quick story on that, right? Like Abby Schaffner, when she first started, if you guys know who Abby is, she's a regional vice president now. She's 25. When she first started, she had a janky old like Chromebook laptop that was probably 7 or 8 years too old. The webcam on it didn't even work. And so she was running Zoom off of her phone, right? So she was like communicating Zoom off of her phone. She was logging into Zoom from her computer and sharing screen from her computer, but all the video was coming from her phone. We got to get her to upgrade, right? So she like, but that's my point. But like, and she had the phone like sitting on like a Kleenex box. Guys, when there's a will, there's a way, right? You'll find a way through. But just thinking about those things, right? So if you've never shared your own Zoom before, start working on that. If you've never transitioned in between, a PDF and then the actual like web browser and then whiteboard and then back, those are all like muscle memory button click things that you kind of got to get used to. I would definitely recommend getting a mouse if you don't have one, because trying to do some of this stuff off of like just the like trackpad on the laptop, kind of difficult. Okay. So here here's the other thing that I want you guys to think about, and I've sent most of these documents out to all of the licensed agents before. Right now, though, I've recreated a new presentation document. And so here's another thing I want you guys to think about when you share. Um, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this so you guys can see it. When you share from Zoom, right? If you click share, what happens is it gives you a whole bunch of options in terms of what can actually be shared. Okay. And when that happens, most people are going to be inclined, and I'm going to throw it in Telegram just so you can kind of see what it looks like. Most of us are going to be inclined to share the thing that we want people to see. Well, what happens when you do that is you're actually just sharing like the browser or the PDF or whatever. And if that's what you want, that's fine. But the problem is when it comes to transitioning in between, it's not very smooth. So right now, I'm just sharing my entire desktop, right? So a little risky because if you have something up you don't want somebody to see, then you're risking it for the biscuit. But just make sure you're clean in terms of like what you have going on beforehand, right? So all I have right now is this browser and a PDF. Can't really screw that up, right? Can't really screw that up too bad. And so this PDF that I've built right now is sort of like a beta, right? It's like a test model. But what I've done is I've taken the blue page, I've taken some of the How Many Works workbook, I've taken a couple of other things, and I've put them into one PDF for a presentation module, right? Now, if you ever ask Andy, he will tell you don't change it, right? And if you are going to change it, you do it in a small batch first, and then we can release it out to the hierarchy. So what I'm doing for us is I've built this, and then if I like it, if we seem to, think that it's working well, then I will approach Andy in terms of like saying, hey, this is something that we would might want to use. But it's also not technically compliant, right? This is not a Primerica document because I have altered some of the actual like standing PDF things, right? And so most of us have seen this blue page before, right? So I took the blue page, right? And then I took just some basic like overview of Primerica on the New York Stock Exchange and then the pinwheel of things that we do, all of the things that we represent. Then down here, debt stacking, right? So two big things that we do, obviously buy term and invest, and then debt stacking. And then the other piece here, rule of 72, kind of a big deal, right? Money compounding, timelines, horizons, what does that look like? Cash value versus buy term and invest. Right. So biggest thing that Primerica was ever built on was trying to eradicate a cash value life insurance. Right. It's never going to happen. The industry is way too big, but if we can get in front of enough people and educate them on why this is a better methodology in terms of pure death protection and pure like money compounding over time, that was kind of Art's vision, right? And then decreasing responsibility. This one's obviously kind of a big deal. And you've never seen it presented like this before because I put this on here, right? So the decreasing responsibility chart is the same. What's different that you've probably never seen before is, I mean, most of you have heard me talk about it in terms of like a graph, right? So remember in school, like y-axis, x-axis, that sort of thing. So age is on the bottom, y-axis is your money over time. And so instead of just having someone trying to visualize it, I just put it on here. Okay. And then the last piece or the last couple of pieces, right? The three accounts you need, right? Your emergency fund, your short term, which is your money market, and then your wealth building account, your retirement accounts. This one is, again, 100% not a Primerica thing. I took a piece from the How Many Works workbook. I updated it for 2026. So now it's got the correct amounts that are your max contribution limits. And then I also added a column for employer plans to understand max contributions there. Okay. Last piece, because we have a fairly heavy like military connection, right? Me, Lisa, Angela Weber, right? All have that military connection. Jen Sutherland, big military connection, right? So what I did, because this always ends up like coming up, is I put the table in for VGLI. It's what that way it's here. It's the 2025 rates, but that's going to carry all the way through 2026. Nothing is changing yet. And then I put underneath it a basic explanation of VGLI so that people have it. Now, if you're not sitting down with a military client, clearly no reason to go into this, right? But it's there sort of as like a supplementary document, but that way it's all in one place. Okay. Because I know one of the complaints early on is like, God, there's so many PDFs. There's this, there's that. It's all over the place. I get it. Right. I get it. This will work whether it's a client appointment or a recruiting appointment. Because in a recruiting appointment, guys, this blue page document is really the only thing that you need. Okay. And so what I want somebody to do really quick, can somebody do me a favor in Telegram, just put the recruiting script in there, just drop that PDF in. Whoever's got it, Matt, if you've got it handy, because I can see you that way, there's not like 13 of them going in. Just drop that in. And what I want you guys to realize is that the overall flow of a script for an interview slash recruiting appointment is very much the same. It's the foundational sort of flow of a client appointment. And so the more comfortable you get with doing an interview slash recruiting appointment, the more you'll realize that it's kind of just the same. The first 10 to 15 minutes are really just establishing a little bit of rapport, right? So like a connection with the person. And then we walk through sort of explaining the company in terms of what we do, how we do it, but you're also asking what we call tie down questions along the way. And you're trying to get someone to either agree with you when you're asking a yes question, or or if you're asking a no question, you want a no answer, that's also agreement. And I know it seems weird when somebody says no, but it's agreement, right? And so if you have that right now, go ahead and click that, pull it up. If you've seen it before and you understand, then don't worry about it. But if you're relatively new and you've never read through that before, please do so, right? And save it, because you'll see pretty quickly that it's the same. Now, am I going to be word for word on that? No. Probably about 80%, pretty close, but the the explanation and the whole process is the same. The thing that's different between that for a recruiting appointment, obviously, I'm not going to go into like the different levels of what we do, like spare time, silent partner, part-time, full-time, all that kind of stuff. But the beginning, the upfront portion is the same. And the only thing that's really going to change is the way we ask the questions about like who right now, like outside of yourself, who's handling your money, right? Who's managing your money? That's a no question, right? Because I want a no answer. Because if somebody says, well, just me, right? Outside of yourself, who's managing your money? Most people are going to say, well, yeah, me, my husband, spouse, whatever, just me. Perfect. Do you have, right, an education or background in personal money and finance? Most people are going to say no, and that's okay. Because with that no answer, then it reveals that they probably could use some help. Does that make sense? Right? And that happens down here. And whether it's a recruit appointment or a client appointment, when you get to this portion of the script, that question happens. And then the other piece on a client appointment only, you're going to say, you're going to ask the question of, well, outside of work, who's handling your life insurance and retirement planning? And again, it's another no question, because most people outside of work don't have anything, right? And if they say nobody, and that opens the door to kind of go into that explanation. And so let's do this really quick. Hey, Matt, you're like front and center and I can see you. Actually, you know what? Haley, can you unmute yourself? No, your camera's off. She's probably dealing with the baby. Matt, your camera's on and you're up. So I'm gonna use Matt as my guinea pig, right? And so, Matt, we're going to go through this. You're going to be the client. You've never heard of Primerica before. Ideally, in a perfect world, you would have been brought to this appointment by somebody, but we'll kind of leave that out, right? I can see Julia, so Julia is the one that brought you to the appointment, right? So, but in this case, right, Julia's only job, especially if she's brand new and in training, is set the appointment, show up, introduce me and Matt really quick, and then smile and nod and take notes. So I'm really not expecting Julia to say anything. And if you're and if you're the one that set the appointment for the client, you don't need to be interrupting whoever's running the appointment. Please don't, right? Like just literally smile and nod. All right. So here we go. Hey, Matt, good morning, man. My name's Noah. I'm Julia's regional vice president, so I actually own the brokerage that she's working in and getting licensed through right now. And we own that through Primerica, man. Have you ever heard of Primerica before?
No, no, I haven't.
That's okay. Most people haven't, but if I said like a good neighbor, Matt, you know that one?
Oh yeah, State Farm is there,
Yeah, everybody gets that one. Sometimes they even hit me with the jingle, right?
right?
Well, you've never heard of us, Matt, but we're actually the largest independent financial services marketing firm on the continent. We're
Oh
huge.
wow.
Yeah, we've been in business since 1977. We just do everything through like word of mouth advertising and referrals. And so you've probably never heard of us. But
Well,
unlike those other guys, I mean, think about like State Farm, right? Do you have any idea how much those guys probably spend every year on advertising, give or take?
yeah, I have no clue. A lot probably because I see them everywhere.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? It's billions,
Wow.
billions, right? And so and that's a year. And you can probably see how if we're not spending billions a year on ads, we can pay our agents way more and we can give clients like great rates and great products, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, check this out too, right? Primary, we're publicly traded, right? So you can go buy shares wherever you buy shares or wherever you buy stocks. And on the New York Stock Exchange, we've been public for the last 15 years. We went public in 2010. Prior to going public, Matt, we were a part of Citibank. Have you heard of Citi before? CITI? You know that one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard of them.
Yeah. Well, Citi actually bought us in 1990, and we were with them for 20 years, all the way up until the housing market crashed. Like you remember that, like 08, 9 timeframe when
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Citi was one of those companies that was like too big to fail, and they took on billions in a bailout from the government. Do you remember that term, like too big to fail?
Oh yeah. Yeah. GM, all of them. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, all of them, right?
Yep.
And so Citi actually took on close to a half a trillion in debt to be
Oh,
bailed out from the government to not go bankrupt. And I mean, you can kind of see it down here in our mission. Part of what we do is a big part is teach families how to become debt free. And so when our parent company at the time went basically bankrupt, we were like, no way, we're out. And our CEOs took us public at that time, 2010. We became a public company, started at like 10 bucks a share. And then, I mean, now we're worth close to $9 billion. It's huge, huge. And it's honestly, Matt, because we do a little bit of everything that you can think of that a client's money can touch, right? We do investments, we do mortgages, we do life insurance. That's kind of a big one, right? Like here, kind of let me show you. Oh, the Zoom got a little crazy. Here we go. So, I mean, these are all of the things that we're able to do for clients. And Matt, for you, what I want you to think about is, I mean, I know you can see Primerica here in the middle, right? For you, that's Julia, right? So like anything that you need that we do, Julie is going to be the one that like she's like your access, your connection, because whether she's licensed for it or not, we'll find somebody to help you. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, like life insurance, that's a big one, right? Kind of a big deal. Mortgages, Rocket Mortgage is the one that helps us with that. They're our mortgage arm, right? You've probably heard of Rocket before.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then all of the investments, investment things that you can think of, right? Like retirement planning, college accounts for kids, minor accounts, like annuities. I can set up 401ks and stuff for small businesses if you know people that need that. And we work with a lot of the big names. I mean, you've probably heard of like Fidelity or Lincoln or Bright House, Voya, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we can use any of them, right? It's whatever a client needs. And then we also do some like home auto and small business insurance. We have wills and powers of attorney, trust, all that kind of thing. We do that with Legal Shield. And then if you need somebody to do your home security stuff, man, we got a pretty sweet connection through Vivint, right? I mean, think about it, Matt, on just like the car insurance side of things. Like, when was the last time you quoted your car insurance out to see if you could save some money?
Oh, I don't even know. I've been with the same company for a few years.
That's good, man. I love the loyalty. But how do you know that what you're paying right now is like the best possible thing?
I don't.
That's okay. And I mean, most people are kind of the same, but if I could save you some money on your car insurance with like a 20-minute phone call, would you at least make the call?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. And Matt, you're not alone. Like the reason most people don't make that call is because they don't want to get a bunch of spam in reverse. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah, well, check this out, dude. Answer Financial. If you call those guys, they're going to shop it out to like 25, 30 different companies for you. They're all going to be A or A plus rated. And if you like what they tell you because they can save you some money, switch. If you don't like it because they can't save you any money, please don't switch, right? Like don't switch just for Julia's sake, right? But
Right.
only switch if you're going to save some money. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let me jump back up here really quick. Kind of get back through this. And then, I mean, Matt, I kind of forgot to ask, like, have you ever sat down with anybody to talk about like personal finance or life insurance or investments or retirement planning before?
No.
No, well, when I get through with like kind of explaining the company, is that something you'd be open to taking a look at so I can kind of show you what that looks like? It'll help Julia a lot too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. Right, we'll get to that here in a second, but I want to finish kind of explaining the company first. Okay. So Matt, sort of like I was saying, right? Investments and life insurance, those are the two big things that we do. I mean, we have close to 3 million investment clients right now, almost 6 million life insurance clients. Every year, Matt, on the life insurance side, we're in the top like one, two, or three of producers of life insurance in the country. You've just never heard of us, right?
Right.
I mean, the company's won tons of awards over the last few years. Most trusted life insurance, most trusted financial company. Those are from Investors Business. We've got some great ones from Forbes. Have you ever heard of Forbes magazine before?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, kind of a big deal when you're getting an award from Forbes, right?
Right.
Yeah, like best in insurance, best in diversity in the workplace for women. There's a lot that we've had over the last few years. Best mid-size employer. I mean, crazy. There's tons of them, tons of awards out there. But Matt, here's really kind of the big thing for us, right? Number one in our mission is help families earn more income, right? Because over the last few years, like an extra $500, Matt, in a client's budget or like in a family's budget could have kept every family that went through a bankruptcy out.
Oh wow.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, Matt, for most of our agents, an extra $500 a month is like helping one client. I mean,
Oh
doesn't take a lot. Yeah, like one client. And guys, I'm planting the seed right now for Matt to potentially think about doing this. It's called recruiting across the kitchen table. All right. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, Matt, anybody can do this, right? And if we can help families earn some extra income, you can see how if they had extra money in their budget, it's a heck of a lot easier to get out of debt faster, get properly protected, start retire, like start investing more, right? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Cool. Well, yeah, so like earn more income, that's kind of a big deal, right? Proper protection, that's just the right amount of life insurance for wherever somebody's at in their current stage of life, right? Debt free is a lot like Dave Ramsey. Have you heard of Dave Ramsey before?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Right. Radio show, teach people how to get out of debt, hates credit cards,
Mhm.
that guy. Yeah. Well, that's what we do, right? We're not going to do some crazy like debt consolidation thing for a client. We're just going to kind of give them a plan and teach them how to get out of debt faster if they want that, right? Because not everybody wants it. No, not everybody needs it. And the last piece is financially independent, Matt. Like what that means is by the time you're ready to retire, you actually have enough money to stop working. We call it your financial independence number. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So, I mean, Matt, for you, like outside of work, like who's handling your life insurance, your retirement planning, and that sort of thing?
No, nobody. I only have stuff through work. That's it.
Just at work?
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, I love that you have that at work, but can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
God forbid something happened and you left that job or you changed jobs. Is there any guarantee that when you get to the next one that it's going to be there?
No.
No. I mean, your retirement stuff is yours, right? Take it with you,
Right.
that sort of thing. But there's no guarantee that you're going to have life insurance at your next job, right?
No.
So that's why, Matt, we always advise clients to have something that's personal, private. You own it, control it, right? That way, God forbid you get there and it's not there for you, you have it. That way, your family's never at risk. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. We'll talk about that here a little bit more in a minute.
Okay.
Because what we do, Matt, is really like we teach people how money works, right? Because like if you're the only one managing your money, I assume you and your spouse kind of doing that together, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you guys have like a background in money and finance on like the personal side?
No, no.
Not
No.
really, right? Matt, if you think about it though, if you had a background in money and finance, do you think you'd probably be in a better position right now than you currently are?
Oh yeah. Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot
you
better position.
couldn't do any worse, right?
You're right.
Yeah. Well, because think about it. Like, when was the last time you ever had like a class on money and finance or anybody taught you anything about this stuff?
Ugh, never.
Maybe in high school?
I don't even think I took anything in high school.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what we do, right? A lot of what we do is just working with clients, kind of teaching them some basic stuff, you know, different types of investment accounts, different types of life insurance, how to save some money, how to get out of debt faster. And that's really the goal because the way we do that is this thing called a financial needs analysis. Right? Matt, it's a fancy name for a plan, dude. Right? Because we all know that having a plan is better than not having a plan. Am I right?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. It's a fancy name for a plan, and it's sort of like a GPS or a roadmap for your money, right? Like, I mean, Matt, like I live in Florida, you're up in Indiana. And like if I was going to give you the address to come down to the office for the first time and you were going to drive down here because you hate flying, right? So you're driving down to the office in Tampa. When I give you that address, Matt, what are you going to do with it for the very first time when you drive down?
Oh, I'm gonna plug it into the GPS.
Yeah, dumbest question ever, right?
Right.
You're gonna plug it in, you're gonna follow a little blue line, probably take you a day, day and a half to
Yeah.
get down here. But Matt, think about this. That little blue line, that's a plan, right?
Yeah.
Start and if most people would plan for like a day or two road trip, why do you think it is, Matt, that most people don't have a plan for like the next 30, 40 years of their money?
They probably just don't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just too
They,
busy.
or they don't know how to, one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know where to start. They probably want it, but they don't know who to talk to. They don't even know where to start. And so that's kind of where we come in, Matt. Like, I want to give you that plan. I want to show you what this looks like. And so the financial needs analysis is pretty cool, right? We're going to sit down and we're going to look at your like old retirement plans. Like if you're like most people that I've met with, you've worked in a few different places, you've got retirement accounts like kind of strewn about, right? You had a 401k, you left it. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to look at your life insurance, right? Like if what you've got is great, then I'll kind of let you know and hopefully you feel better about it. But if we figure out that what you have is not good, we should probably fix it. Am I right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then if you're dealing with debt, we'll kind of build you a plan to get out of debt. Let me show you kind of what that looks like. Right. And so we call it debt stacking, Matt, just like Dave Ramsey would do for you. Right. And so we just build you a plan, right? Requires some data, takes a little while. We're not going to do that today, right? Because
Right.
you got to gather some stuff up and get back together, right?
Yeah.
But this is what it looks like, Matt. How much more comfortable do you think you would feel like, even if you're dealing with some debt, but if you had a plan to get out, do you think it'd be like a weight off your shoulders?
Oh, yeah. 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 I'd probably feel a lot better.
Yeah, because I mean, most people, Matt, when they pay their bills, right, they're gonna pay all their bills, and what do they pay every month when they pay those bills? Like, do they pay the max and pay it off, or do they pay like the minimum?
Oh, no. The minimum.
Yeah, most people pay the minimum, and then if there's any money left over, they kind of just sprinkle it across the rest of the bills, like here and there, right? That's sort of like a debt shotgun, Matt. I want you to think about it more like almost like a sniper rifle, right? We're gonna like these bills, all these down here, we're gonna pay the minimums, make sure that they're current. I don't want you going behind on anything. And then with this one, we're gonna pay that plus all the extra money is gonna go right here until it's gone.
Okay.
It's called debt stacking, right? So when this one's gone, that extra $180, we're gonna roll it down here, right? And now this one's gonna get accelerated, it's gonna get paid off faster. Because Matt, with most people, right, when they pay this 180 off, what do they do with it?
Spend it.
They go spend it, right? Right. Well, listen, we're not going to go spend it. We're going to roll it down here and we're going to start accelerating this debt. And look, as we get through this, now the client's got an extra $2,500 a month. Obviously, it's a fake client, right? It's just for a demonstration. But look, the math doesn't lie. They're out of debt almost 15 years sooner and they save over $112,000 in interest.
Well, that's a lot.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And that's just a plan, Matt. There's not even any extra money in this client's budget. And so like that's the power of the plan of the F&A, the financial needs analysis. Sorry, don't get dizzy. I'm sorry. Right. And so most people though, right, they say, hey man, well, like what's the catch? And I say, look, there's no catch, right? We get back together, we kind of go over everything. If it makes sense, we should probably do it. And the only catch is if it made sense for you, well, do it. And if you know some people that you think this would be great for, I would love a referral, right? Because Matt, we do everything that we do for the client, it's free, right? You're never going to pay us anything. The only thing you pay for as the client is the thing that you're getting, right? The life insurance, the retirement, the better car insurance, whatever it is. But you don't pay us anything, right? You don't pay Julia anything.
Hmm.
Matt, we kind of joke and we say, look, we work for you, but we get paid by the other guy. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's sort of what that looks like, Matt. And so like Saturday at 12, is that usually a pretty good time for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we schedule a follow-up for like a couple weeks from now? Give you some time to go find those old retirement plans, maybe put some bills together in terms of like getting out of the debt that you're dealing with, and we'll set up a time to come back and we'll kind of go through those things then. But for right now, what I'd like to show you is what it's going to look like for you to retire, like how much are you going to need, and then how much life insurance should you really have? Is that okay?
Yeah. That's fine.
Awesome. Let me pull this up. Give me a second because the system sometimes gets a little wonky, right? It thinks it's on its break on the weekend too. So let me pull this
Yeah.
up, right? Yep, there it goes. It's freaking out. Hold on. And so, guys, if you ever like if that happens to you, and it's going to, just talk through it, right? People understand, people know technology is weird sometimes. Just like don't let it rattle you, right? Don't let them see you sweat kind of thing. It just needs you to log in again. It's been too long. Just talk through it. Right. And so the mobile F&A that I'm talking about, you can only get to it from the app. Oh man, it's having a rough day. Once you're licensed, all of these tools are available to you. Right? So when the app loads eventually, there's going to be the three buttons over here on the left-hand side. Click it, and it will say mobile F&A underneath tools if it eventually loads. There we go. Killing me smalls. All right, well, let's try a new browser. Chrome is not happy today, apparently. So we will try Safari. Maybe. Guys, this happened like this happens. So like you just have to like adapt and overcome, right? Don't let it shake you. So Matt, like if you had to think about, retiring 30 years from now or somewhere along that, like have you ever thought about how much money that would take?
No, not really.
Right? And that's okay, right? Most people don't. And so one of the things that we're actually going to figure out today, Matt, is what we call your FIN. It's your financial independence number.
Okay.
So this is sort of what life looks like, right? So, early on, you might worry about dying too soon. Later on in life, you're thinking about not outliving your money. So we call this decreasing responsibility. As you get older, Matt, your need for life insurance is actually going to decrease, right? Your kids are going to be grown, your house is going to be paid off, you're retired. We're not worried about replacing an income. So way out here, you don't need as much life insurance, right? But you get on this side of the chart, we need to make sure you don't outlive your money. And that's what we're really going to focus on today. Okay. So Matt, you're going to be John Doe. So this is all fake, right? I don't want YouTube to take this down. So you're going to be John Doe. This is going to be your birthday. Let's see, 85. Sure.
Oh,
Right.
close.
Your wife is going to be Jane, and her birthday was something else. YouTube, this is a fake client. This is not real data. Please don't take it down. Right? Because YouTube will be doing that stuff. So, so Matt, somewhere, retirement age for you is going to be around 67, right?
Yeah.
Most people, if you think about retiring, somewhere around 67. And so, guys, you can change this, right? If the client's like, no, man, I'm retiring at 50. Like, okay, well, that means we only got 9 years. So, and you can also make it later. I've had clients tell me, look, I don't ever plan to stop working. Okay, well, that changes things, but you can always change this. It's not fixed, right? Matt, we're gonna make up numbers. Or John, right? You're making 4 grand, Jane's making 4 grand. And so in this is your current monthly income around 8 grand. And in retirement, Matt, most people are going to need roughly 80% of that income to retire and not change your lifestyle too drastically, right? So in retirement, Matt, we want to be able to pay you. You need to be able to pay yourself around 6,400 a month. Okay. And this number, guys, like, look, if you can adjust it, right? If they're like, no, when I retire, I'm moving into a tiny house and I'm going off the grid. I don't need a whole lot. Okay, we'll adjust it to whatever they need. But somewhere between 75 and 80% is average. Okay. Click the button right up at the top. So Matt, you understand inflation, I assume, right? Or you at least you kind of get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
understand
so
it.
So Matt, almost 30 years from now, when you retire, that 6 grand today, like in today's dollars, is going to take almost 13,000 to replace it.
Oh,
So
wow.
I know it's crazy, right? So the way to think about that is like, say you bought my pen today and it cost 6 grand. It's a good pen, right? 6 grand today. Fast forward to retirement age, same exact pen, nothing special. It's going to cost 13 grand to buy it.
Oh, wow.
That's inflation. That's your purchasing power of your dollar decreasing over time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we plan for your money, Matt, as a client, we have to plan for you off of the big number. Otherwise, you're going to run out of money too soon. And that's what we don't want to happen. Okay. And so let me up here really quick, go to the next screen. And so, Matt, this is your financial independence number, right? So most companies, Matt, if you were going to sit down with them and they were going to kind of tell you what that's going to look like, they're going to probably charge you a few $1,000s. They're going to give you a big like binder full of nonsense that you don't understand.
Yeah.
We just did it in about 5 minutes and it's
Yeah.
free.
It's pretty fast. Yeah.
right? We did it in about 5 minutes, man, and it's free. And most people, Matt, and you can be honest, when you see that number, you kind of freak out a little bit, right?
Oh yeah.
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 But listen, it's okay because 30 years worth of growth and compounding, your money is going to have time to work as well.
Okay.
So, Matt, if we were going to, estimate your retirement between your 401k you have now, your old 401k, that sort of thing, uh, somewhere around 50,000 in there right now.
Yeah.
So, Matt, look, even if you put $0 a month into that, that's still going to be close to a 500,000 by the time you retire,
Okay.
right? And so here's the way I do for most people, guys, through their retirement stuff. I just click the calculator and it pops up. Most people generally understand how their retirement stuff works. Most of them don't, right? So if you ask them for like specific numbers, they're not going to know. And so I sort of lead them through that. And so like Matt, you and or John, right? You and Jane have 401k, right? Are you guys contributing to that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you're like most places are going to match your contribution, Matt, somewhere up to around 3%. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, perfect. Well, look, let's just do this then. So between you and Jane, you guys are making 8 grand a month. That's gross, like pre-tax, right? So times 3%. That means every month you and Jane are putting in about 240 between both of your checks. So if you're getting paid twice a month, does that sound, are you getting paid biweekly, Matt?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that means every check you're putting in 60, so is she, right? And then by the end of the month, you'll have put in 240. But here's the cool thing. Like if we were just looking at your money that you're putting in, right? That 240 a month, that's almost another 300 grand. But watch this. If you're putting it in and your employer is matching it, it's doubled, right?
Oh. Yeah.
So if they're matching, that's free money. So Matt, like always want you to take care, like take the full contribution from your employer, right?
Yeah.
So look, even if you just didn't change anything and you were on the path that you're on right now, Matt, did you know you're going to have about $1 million in retirement?
No.
Do you feel a little bit better at least?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, so if we really want to close that gap, right, there's a couple things we can do. One, right? This is what you're doing now. But if you were truly going to hit that number between you and Jane, by the time you hit 67 and you wanted that in the bank to fully stop working, we'd have to get you somewhere to an extra like 1,500 bucks a month.
Oh.
Okay. Right now, that's probably a little bit difficult, right?
Yeah.
But Matt, watch this. Even if you just started putting in an extra like 200 a month, an extra 200 a month is going to get you an additional 760 grand.
Okay.
Right? And that's crazy. Now you're going to be between this and this, you're almost at 2 million.
Okay.
That's pretty comfortable, right? So I don't want you to stress about this too much, but Matt, can you kind of see why one of the most important things to us is helping families earn more income?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to close this gap, it's going to be a lot easier to close if you're making an extra 1,500 a month versus trying to squeeze it out of your budget. Am I right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I mean, Matt, like, have you seen that? I just kind of click buttons. I'm not really doing a whole lot in terms of like math. Like anybody can do this. Can you see
Yeah.
that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Could you think you could ever see yourself doing something like this?
I probably could. I mean, it seems pretty easy.
It's pretty simple, right? And in reality, we're just kind of educating people and we're just kind of helping.
Yeah.
I just want people to know more about what they should be doing. And so we can talk about that if you're interested. Right, don't hesitate, man. Talk to Julia because she can get you going. Okay.
Okay.
So Matt, this is life insurance, guys. I was recruiting across the kitchen table, right? You're just planting that seed. It doesn't feel crazy. It's not like skeezy, right? You're having a conversation, but if you never open the door, they don't even know it's open. Okay. So Matt, when we talk about life insurance, right? Because if you're like most people at work, you probably have something and it's like cheap, or if you're paying for it, it's so cheap it might as well be free. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like, but most people, Matt, if you've got something at work, you're probably getting maybe, 1 or 2 times your salary at the most. Does that sound
Yeah.
about right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Matt, like God forbid something happened to you. Like what happens if all that Jane has is like 1x your salary? Like how long is that going to last her after a funeral or after like paying some bills and that sort of thing?
Oh, I don't even think it'll last a year.
Probably not, right? I mean, if it's 1x your salary and we're taking some out, it's definitely not going to last a year. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, Matt, that's why we always advise clients that you should probably have somewhere between, I don't know, 6 and 12x your income when it
Yeah.
comes to life insurance. And I mean, you're a Dave Ramsey guy, right? That's exactly what Dave teaches as well. And so, Matt, if we were going to get you somewhere around, like let's just use rough numbers like 10x your income, you probably need around a $500,000 in life insurance to like fully protect your family. And right now you've only got about 48 or 50, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we would agree you're a little bit short.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Matt, have you ever looked at like private life insurance before? Have you ever priced it out? Have you ever even
No, no, like I said, I had it through work, so I never really thought about it.
never really thought about it? But now that we've kind of talked about it a little bit, you can kind of see why it's super important. Am I right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Matt, I'm gonna go to a quote really quick so I can kind of show you what it would look like. I mean, if you were to think about how much about like a 500,000 in life insurance would cost for you and Jane, like if you just had to like spitball a number, what do you think it would cost you?
Oh, probably costs about a couple hundred a piece for each of us, I would think.
Yeah, so I mean, probably pretty expensive. And Matt,
Yeah.
that's honestly one of the main reasons why most people don't have private life insurance. They think it
Yeah.
costs too much, right? They think either it costs too much or like they've been meaning to get around to it, they just haven't yet, or and I don't think this is you, Matt, but like some people have flat out told me like, ain't my problem. I'm gonna be gone. They'll figure it out. But I mean, that's not you.
No,
That's
no,
definitely not you.
no.
So like for you, Matt, which one do you think it really is? Either you think it just costs too much or you just haven't gotten around to it yet?
Just pretty much costing too much.
Yeah. Okay. So if I could show you it doesn't cost too much, do you think that's something you'd be open to taking a look at today?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Matt, if you had to think about like your guys' current budget right now, like between you and Jane, are you both getting paid like once a month, twice a month, every
We
week?
both get paid bi-weekly.
Okay, so biweekly. So if you were going to take a little bit of money out of those checks every week or every paycheck, right? Every 2 weeks, and we're going to put some money in what we call like a shoebox, right? Remember when you were a kid, you had like a piggy bank or something?
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
stash your money. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put some money in there for the life insurance. We're going to put a little bit of money in there for some investing, and then we'll talk about like saving some more money as well. Okay.
Okay.
So Matt, if you were going to throw some money in there without like completely jacking up your budget, right? Like I don't want you going to rice and beans kind of thing.
Right.
How much do you think you could put in there every check, right? And while you're thinking about that, I mean, I've got clients that are like 50 to 100 a check. I've got some that are a few hundred a check. I've got some that are thousands because everybody's different. But like that one's
Right.
probably way too much. But like where do you think you would land?
Uh, Probably about 100 every paycheck.
Okay, so 100 like for each of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so 200 a check, so about
Yeah.
400 bucks a month.
Yeah.
So Matt, if I could show you something that makes sense that's inside of your shoebox money, right? Is that something you'd be open to take a look at today?
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. So we said we need to be somewhere around a 500,000 for you and around a 500,000 for Jane, right? And so let's just take a look at that really quick.
Okay.
And so, I mean, look at that, Matt. Jane's so much younger and she's a woman. A 500,000 for Jane is only gonna be like 60 bucks a month. How
Oh
crazy
wow.
is that? Way less than you thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's look at you. So, Matt, you're a man and you're older, right?
Yeah.
And since you're so much older, you probably don't need quite as long of a term, but
Yeah.
cost for you is a little bit higher. So you're a lot older and you're a man, right? Has anyone ever explained to you like how the pricing for life insurance works?
No. Uh-uh.
Okay, well, is that okay? Can I do that for you really quick?
Yeah. Yeah.
So life insurance is priced primarily, Matt, off of two things, your age and your health, right?
Okay.
And so like if it's age and health, right, we would agree neither of us are getting any younger.
No.
Yeah,
No.
we're as young as we're ever going to be like today, right?
Right.
And health-wise, Matt, do you think like a year from now, heck, even 6 months from now, do you think you're going to be healthier than you are right now?
No. Not at all.
Not likely, right? We're not designed to like
Right.
age in reverse. We're not Benjamin Button or something, right?
Yeah.
So, Matt, if we agree that we're as young and as healthy as we're ever going to be, is life insurance ever going to be cheaper than it is right now?
No.
Probably not, right? And so that's why I always want clients to kind of think about, look, worst thing that happens is we just apply and see how it comes back, right?
Right.
And then Matt, do you guys have kids? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we
Awesome.
got two kids.
Two kids. So I'm usually going to cover the kids with the mom's policy. It just usually kind of how it works out.
Right.
So Matt, both kids, we're going to cover both kids for 25,000, right? They're each covered for 25,000 and it's only going to cost you like 13 bucks
Oh,
total,
wow.
right? Yeah, because whether it's two kids or 12 kids, I don't care, Matt. It's sort of like the old Netflix, right? You log in to one Netflix account, you can have as many TVs and devices and all that as you want. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason we cover kids for 25,000, Matt, is that they can stay on that rider until they turn 25, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at 25, at 25, they would age off of the rider, but they're still guaranteed to be insurable for five times the coverage that they had as a kid. But it caps out at 125,000 for the guarantee, right? But I mean, Matt, think about it. How many times on Facebook have you seen recently that, somebody's kid is sick or has some sort of issue or anything like that?
Oh, almost daily.
Almost daily, right?
Yeah.
And listen, I'm never going to put that on our kids, but somebody's kid at some point is going to come down with something. But if they were covered with us, regardless of what they've got, they could be, 25 with stage 99 cancer. They're guaranteed to be insurable. All we do is convert the policy, 125,000, no questions asked. It's just paperwork. How cool
Oh,
is that?
yeah, that's awesome.
That's a pretty solid peace of mind knowing that there's a guarantee at the end, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, that's super cool. We call that guaranteed insurability. And Matt, that happens for all of our clients, right? So like at the end of your term, you're guaranteed to be insurable. You can never be declined in the future.
Oh, okay.
So Matt, if we were going to do this for you today, right? 195 would be the grand total for you, Jane. You're both covered for 500,000. All the kids are covered, right? Let me show you what the application process looks like so you kind of have a better idea. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So Matt, have you ever applied for anything before?
Oh, yeah. Jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, like a
College.
job or like a
Yeah.
school or anything, right? When when you applied for that job, did they have to accept you?
No.
No. But I mean, clearly they did because you're pretty awesome, right? And so kind of the same thing here. And so Matt, the first draft of the payment when we make it is going to go into what we call like an escrow account. Like, do
Okay.
you own your house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you pay your mortgage, right? Some money goes to escrow, it's like being held,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where that's going to go. And so your guys' coverage, there's a 500,000 on you, there's a 500,000 on Desiree, and then 25,000 on the kids, right? And so what happens, Matt, is when we make that first escrow payment, right? That money goes in and it's held. And then God forbid something happens, you're guaranteed to be insurable, right? So what's what we call conditional coverage.
Okay.
So when that first payment happens, Matt, automatically covered for 500,000. Something happens to you along the way, we're sending her a check for 500,000, but Primerica is going to keep some of that. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but that's a pretty fair trade.
Right.
And so, Matt, it's January right now, February, and then March. That's sort of like the next, 60 days ish. And so when we apply, Matt, what's going to happen is that first payment's going to draft, but your coverage is going to start. We got to get your medical exam scheduled. Really simple, right? They're going to do height, weight. They're going to draw some blood. Pee in a cup takes like 15 minutes. It's free. You don't
Yeah.
have to pay for it, right? We take care of that. It's on us. And then takes about 2 weeks usually, and then your results are going to get sent in, and then your policy, Matt, is probably going to issue somewhere out here in like early February.
Okay.
Matt, when your policy issues, right, this money is going to come out of escrow and pay the policy into the next billing cycle, right? So now it's March, right? You're paid through January, you're paid through February. Depending on how and when the policy issues, Matt, there's actually a good chance you don't even make a payment in March. Your first actual like monthly payment is probably going to be out here in April,
Oh, wow.
but you'll be covered the entire time. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
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 So, Matt, just like an application for a job or school, right? They didn't have to accept you. Well, look, neither do we, right? There's really only two outcomes. We either tell you no or we tell you yes. Okay. So if we tell you no, though, Matt, right, we're going to send you a letter. We're going to send you all your money back and we're going to say sorry.
Yeah.
So, Matt, you can kind of see how there's like no risk in just submitting an application, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So there's no risk. And then, Matt, if you are approved, which we think is going to happen because you're pretty healthy, right? Then it follows this normal timeline up here. But Matt, let me kind of walk you through a couple of other things that are like built into the policy. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So, Matt, you've got a living benefit built into the policy, right? So for you, that's $200,000 because it's 40% of your policy. Meaning, Matt, like if you woke up like next week and you had some really bad news from your doctor, they said you got 6 months to live. Do you have like 200 grand that you can tap into right now to do whatever you want?
Not at all.
Not at all, right? But Matt, if you have our life insurance, you do.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's 200 grand that you can advance yourself. It comes out of your death benefit, right? It's tax free. You take 200, your family's going to get 300 when you eventually pass. Because if you're terminal, we would agree you're probably not going to make it very long, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you got some bad news, but you got 200 grand to do whatever you want, man. It's like the old JG Wentworth commercial.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, it's my money.
Yeah, there you go, right? It's your money, you want it now.
Yeah.
And so, dude, take that. Go get some experimental medical treatment. Go on a cruise around the world. I don't care. It's up to you. But if you get really, really sick and you're about to die, Matt, like, do you think your bills are going to stop?
No.
No, but your income is probably on its way down if you can't work, right?
Yeah.
So this is a huge peace of mind. And then increasing benefit rider is something that's built into the policy, Matt. Every year that you keep the policy, if you want to keep it, there's an extra 10% that's going to get added, right? And you're only going to pay like a tiny little bit for the extra coverage. And so what happens, like think about 10 years from now, Matt, is a half a million 10 years from now going to be the same half a million?
No.
Not really, right? And Primerica knows that. So every year we give you an extra 10% in coverage and it only costs you a couple bucks. If you want to keep it, great. If you don't want to keep it, we'll get rid of it. Right. And then the last piece, Matt, on this life insurance, you never have to do another medical exam ever again.
Okay.
30 years from now, Matt, you're going to be 71, right? That's going to be the end of your term. And at 71, we already agree you shouldn't need life insurance anymore, right?
Right. Right.
Well, yeah, but if you change your mind and it's something that you want to have, you can keep it. You don't have to do another medical exam. It's going to be more expensive because you're going to be 30 years older, but you can never be declined.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, think about it. At 71, we're probably not going to be super healthy, right?
Yeah, no.
No. And so, like, imagine this, you're on your deathbed, something like really, really bad, and your policy's about to expire. Well, don't stress because you can just renew it. It'll be more expensive, but if you're about to die, do you really care what the cost is?
No.
No, me either, right? Because your family's going to be the one that benefits from that. So, Matt, I mean, I know this all looks sort of like a bad football play, right? There's a lot going on. Any questions on this?
Um, no, I think you pretty much went over a lot of it.
Cool. So Matt, we do everything on DocuSign. It'll probably take us about 15 minutes to knock this out. So what I want to do today is just apply and see how everything comes back. Sound good?
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. Listen, who do you want your beneficiary to be?
My wife.
Yeah, and we can always change that, right? You can
Okay.
change it, right? So down the road. But so we'll get these pulled up, Matt. We'll sign some DocuSigns. Is she available? Does she have her phone handy?
Yeah, yeah, I can get a hold of her.
Perfect, right? And so we need, the insured to be the one that's signing that. So done. We're in the application, right? So guys, we go back to the application, right? Back to that screen and hit apply now. And they're going to pop up and we just start filling them out. Okay. So it's 12:53. I spent the first about 11 minutes sort of BSing and kind of going over some stuff. So somewhere between 30 and 40-ish minutes is about how long it should take you to get into the application. Okay. That's pretty standard. And Matt, thank you for playing. Right, I'll let you go.
You're welcome.
Wasn't he good, guys? Right? Wasn't he good? But that's what a client appointment looks like. What I want you guys to think about is how many times Matt agreed with me. How many times did I ask Matt a yes question and you saw my head do this? Every time I asked Matt a no question, my head was doing this. They're just subtle cues, right? Subtle cues. If we went back and replayed that, and I might do it just for giggles, right? Go back and tally every time I asked Matt his name and said his name.
I counted. I've got
Did
it.
you
I'll tell
really?
you in 6 seconds. I put a question mark every time you ask. So hold on. I'll tell you.
Yes, I knew somebody would do it, right? Some old bingo stuff. I actually thought Emily Haynes would be the one to do it because we used to do this when people would speak at West Point, right? We were like, we would start tallying random things. Um, but that's that's sort of the thing, guys. Like I probably said his name 20, 30 times at least, and I probably asked him 50 to 75 questions. I don't even know, right? I don't even know. But in the span of 30 minutes, I usually get in 30 to 50 like agreements, and I use their names somewhere between 25 and 50 times. People love hearing their own name, and people love agreeing with you. They can't agree with you though if you don't ask a question. Okay. And so that's why what we call this a sales-based approach, or excuse me, a questions-based sales approach. Because if I ask you a question and you tell me the answer, it's true. But if I would have gone through that entire thing and all I would have done was tell Matt all of these things, if I'm telling, I'm selling, right? All I did was ask Matt. He told me where there's a gap in his financial future, and I'm offering a methodology and a way to fill that gap. I'm providing a way to fix it. Okay. 36 questions or 36 times I said his name, Jen. Either way, that's about a question a minute, right? Roughly. That's pretty good because if he's agreed with me, and out of those 36 questions, at least 30 of them were yeses. So Matt has told me yes 30 times in a little over 30 minutes. Do you really think by the time I say, so what we're going to do today is we're just going to apply and see how it comes back? Sound good? Do you really think he's going to say no? Not likely, right? Not likely. But that's why, because we've been saying yes. So all of those little micro yeses along the way, they lead to the big yes. We've been agreeing for almost 40 minutes. He's not about to tell me no, especially when I've told him that God forbid something went sideways in the application, he's going to get a full refund, which is why I asked the question of, so you can see how there's no risk in just applying, am I right? Perfect. And so it's the full process. And guys, this is what makes us so much different than just a regular life insurance agent. I want to do everything for the client. I want your life insurance. I want your investments. I want to fix your home and auto. Okay. I want to see if I can get your wills and legal shield stuff taken care of. And because that's so like during the application process, when we get to the beneficiaries, the primary beneficiary is 95% going to be the spouse. And if it's not a spouse, it's going to be a parent. Okay. Not a parent, right? But their parent. Contingent beneficiary, though, is likely going to be then who would ever take care of the kids. And that's where you can sort of like not upsell, but you can cross sell into Legal Shield because I mean, Matt, God forbid something happens to you and Desiree at the same time, who's taking care of the kids? Also, who would be getting all of the money? And most people go, "Oh man, I don't know. I've never thought about that." Perfect. I mean, Matt, let's be honest. Did you know that in most states, without a will, minor children will sort of go into probate like property? It's called a custodial probate. Most people go, no, I did not know that. So that's okay. But that's the importance of having a will. And Matt, if you don't know who would get the money, I'm also guessing that you don't have a will that says who would get your kids. God forbid something happened to you and your spouse at the exact same time. Am I right? Perfect. So Legal Shield does that for us. It's like 40 bucks a month, Matt. You can do all of the legal documents you can ever imagine. Right. Is that, I mean, that would make sense, right? Because I mean, most places, if you went to go do a will right now, it would probably cost you about $300 to $500 per person. So Matt, that's somewhere between 600 and 1,000 bucks just to do wills. That's like 2 years worth of Legal Shield for your entire family. It's crazy, right? And guys, check this out. We just updated ours, right? We haven't, but we just updated ours, right? I'm not gonna like show you the actual document, but look, it comes from a lawyer's office that's local to you, right? Their the address is on there somewhere. Yeah. Right. They're in Orlando, right? So that's Legal Shield. And then they sent it. We're going to review it. We get them notarized. Boom, done. Right. I did powers of attorney for my 18-year-old son. We have health directives for that as well. All of it with Legal Shield. It's like 40 bucks a month. It's awesome. right? Jen's got the same one, DSK law. That's what I'm talking about, right? But guys, that's the power of what we do. It's everything. It's everything. So I'm going to stop this recording. I have a 1 o'clock that I've got to get